Yo, what up, everybody? It is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's your boys, Mike and Mish, with the Mike and Mish Show. What up there, Mikey?
Woo! What is going on, man? I'm hyped up right now. I'm hyped up.
All right,
Hyped
all
up.
right. Yeah, why are you so hyped?
Hyped up from the mic up.
Oh.
Which isn't that
You
far,
know,
but-
yeah, it's right there in front of your
Yeah,
face.
man. I'm hyped right now. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Just hyped to
Well,
be
that's-
here. Just to be here in general, talking about bare knuckle fighting.
Well, it is the place to do that. We are going to be talking to two fighters tonight, and I'm excited about this show too because one, our first guest of the night really showed he really looked like he belonged in the sport. We were actually talking with somebody who was at the ring that night, Mr. Large Benjamin. Everybody knows who Large Benjamin is, right?
Please
Large,
make that name stick.
yeah, Mr. Large Benjamin
Large
was
Benjamin.
ringside that night, and Large Benjamin says, "This kid looks like a veteran in the ring, man. He fucking did." And I'll tell you right now, man, Logan Speyrer was out there showing footwork, head movement, fast ass head movement. Yeah. Ronda Rousey's coach would have been proud of him that night.
Yes,
but he also
correct.
had,
You
dude,
would.
super fast jab, fast hands, great angles. Like he really did look good in there, man. So we're going to talk to Logan about his fight at Clearwater and what's in the future for him. And then we're going to talk to the new 185-pound champion, the new light heavyweight champion, Josh Razorblade Knuckles D-Day Dyer. Wow, Mike. What the fuck?
I know. Like you were saying the other day at work, it almost looked like he pulled a kickboxer, right?
Yeah.
Or he took his knuckles and put him into the glass,
Yeah,
came out
dude.
to fight. But no, those were actually skin on bone.
It's absolutely insane.
It
Like
is.
there were photos that were up there. They have been since taken down. I know that they're still out there though. Those photos of Mike Richmond after the fight were insane. They were amazing, and they were like very comparable to the famous Artem Lobov, Jason Knight after photos of BKFC 5, which that's a nice little segue, Mike. We're going to be giving away a poster tonight on the show. At some point, we're going to give away one of these fight posters of BKFC 5, Artem Lobov versus Jason Knight. Look at that shit, guys. We're going to be giving that poster away, signed by every single fucking fighter on that poster. How insane is that? Courtesy of our boy, Big Russ Maxim of the Extreme BKFC fans page. Shout out to Russ. So anyways, we will be giving that out later. Share this show up. Tell all your friends. Get on here and get in the comment section when we throw up a trivia question up later on. But, dude, tell me that Mike Richmond photo, those Mike Richmond photos didn't rival those Artem Lobov, Jason Knight photos.
Those, I personally think that was the gnarliest. That's a good word that I think it goes right with that picture. It was the gnarliest photo of cuts I think I've ever seen from bare knuckle so far, the entire time. I don't think this is this is not recency bias. This is like for sure. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. Now, granted, we did see the jaw surgery and the broken jaw. Like that injury was really bad. Right? But we wouldn't have seen
night of.
Like night of, it was just blood out of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
That the jaw
those night of photos of Mike were crazy. It was awesome.
Mike
but you know what? Listen, and for anybody that says that this sport is more dangerous, that's like anybody that looks at those photos and says that this is why I don't watch that sport, it's too brutal. Why don't you go look up some of the after photos from the UFC? I love MMA. I love BKFC. There's nothing more dangerous in either one of those two sports. That picture from that dude that got kneed in the forehead last year.
Yes.
Where you could see the muscle fibers in his forehead. Give me a fucking break. It was amazing. Dude, let's get the show on the road. Let's shout out our sponsors and let's talk to Logan and find out what's up with this kid. Let's shout out. Let's go, boy. Mike, what do you got for me? Take a sip of your drink. There you go.
Listen up.
Dynamic Life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life by reaching optimal health. Visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's LIV Dynamic on Instagram. Look them
Great
up.
job, Mike. There you go. There you go. And while you're at it, head over to the Rasha. They are the official mindset, recovery, and performance partner of the 1%. And they are an official sponsor of the BKFC and multiple champions, including Misfit Berea and your boys over here at the Mike and Mish Show. Get over to their Instagram page at Rasha Elite. That is at Rasha Elite on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. It'll take you to the Rasha.com, and you can find out about that recovery and performance partner of the BKFC, because it is the real deal. Get yourself in that dome, put those headphones on, and open your mind up. Mike, we got people watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Millions, and Rumble. And we got Logan Speyrer in the weight room. So what do you say we get this goddamn show on the road, huh?
Hey, why don't we? Why don't we? Why don't we? All right, guys, stay tuned, because when we come back, we will be joined by the one and only Logan Speyrer. Here we go.
Logan Speyrer, thank you for coming on the show. Welcome to the Mike and Mish Show, my friend. How you doing?
Mike, Mish, nice to meet y'all, man.
Nice to meet you.
In case you're wondering, that's Mike. Oh, he has name right there, and I'm Mish. So the Mike and Mish Show. Hey, dude, you heard me on the intro there. You put on one hell of a performance against a very tough kid, Quentin Gaskins, and we are happy to get you on here because, like I said, Large Benjamin, people call him Big Ben, but let's be proper.
Met him. Maybe.
Yeah, you may have met him down there. He was texting us the day after and was like, yo, what about this Logan guy, man? He looked like he belonged in this sport. Looks like he's been here forever. Dude, you look like you fit right in there and you were very comfortable inside the squared circle. Would you say so?
I'm glad y'all enjoyed, man. I definitely, belong there, I'd say.
Yeah, man. And you know, we're going to talk about you and your life because I want to know your background and stuff. But just let's talk about that fight real quick, and then we'll get into you. Did you rewatch? I'm sure you did. Did you go back and rewatch the fight?
Oh, I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I watched it a lot.
You were getting props throughout the whole fight by Chris Lytle and Sean Wheelock. And did you catch? I want to say it was the third round, maybe, where it could have been the second round. You bounced off the ropes and you landed a right hand. And Sean Wheelock said that is the bare knuckle version of the Showtime kick, but it's the Showtime punch.
I did a lot of bouncing off the ropes. I bounced off the ropes a few times. Yeah, it was a small ring, and I was moving a lot, so a lot of bouncing. Yeah.
The ropes aren't too bouncy, though, are they?
No, man.
You were bouncing, but they're not that bouncy.
Yeah, they're pretty hard.
Yeah. You know,
does that feel all right? Like after the fight, did you actually feel hurt from bouncing off the ropes at all? No. Nope. Nah. Didn't feel a thing.
So this was you had fought in a bare knuckle fight prior to the BKFC, but this was your debut in the BKFC. First experience with the company, you know, you're at this outdoor event at the OCC down there in Clearwater. What'd you think about the event itself, fighting in that smaller ring, in the circle ring, and you know, starting 3 feet apart and doing the whole nine?
It was pretty intense. I'd say I'm used to fighting in small rings. I've fought in plenty of them. I mean, I fought in bathrooms already, so it's it's a lot smaller than the ring. So no problem with the platform. You know, it felt natural.
What is it about fighting in bathrooms, Kyle? He's not the first fighter, and he's not the second fighter even to say that they fought in a bathroom. Is it just? Oh man, we've had people come through here and they're like, we have bathroom fighting stories all the time, and you're another fighter with a bathroom fighting story. Can you tell us a bathroom fighting story? You don't have to put any real names in there, but don't want to incriminate anybody.
When I was in high school, one of my first fights in high school was in the locker room, actually in the showers. Not fully clothed, we were, to say, but
with the what people put the water on for effect with the clothes on. You just fucking.
It was like a scene out of Lionheart. It was like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Yeah,
it was nuts in there. No pun intended.
Go
on. I got into a fight in a Bruins at the Bruins game at the TD Garden, walking out of the bathroom, Mike. I have my own bathroom fight story. So everybody's got a bathroom fight story, I guess. I was walking out. You know how at arenas they have an entryway and an exit from the bathrooms? And I was walking out the exit section of the bathroom, and this fucking dickhead was walking in the exit, and he bumps me, and it leads to us two like throwing a couple punches at each other and getting broken up. It lasted all of 3 seconds, and we went our separate ways before we got thrown out of the arena. Yeah, like adults, like adults. We were very, very mature about it. Don't want to leave tonight, so let's just go back to our seats and forget about it.
I've gotten in a lot of fights going out. Not like literally I did nothing to deserve to get in these fights. I just was there, and it's weird, but people, like, I've gotten in fights before, someone just looking at me, and I'm just standing there minding my own business. This happened at a club in downtown Lafayette. I was literally just standing there, and all of a sudden I see a guy looking at me, like, kind of like taunting at me. And I'm like,
why?
What's going on? I really don't know what's going on, but he's like pointing at his chin and like looking at me like, and from there I just left and walked outside, and he followed me outside and with one of his friends, and I put them both down outside of Nighttown.
Nice.
These Lafayette guys, man. Well, you know what? Let's get right into that. I know that you're not exactly from Lafayette, right? You're from right outside, but they announced you from Lafayette. Mm-hmm. Lafayette has strong fighting roots down there. Obviously, everybody knows. Everyone knows DC, and everyone knows Poirier and Alan Jouban, but like. With that being said, do you carry like a chip on your shoulder? Do you fight to represent your area a little more, like knowing that you come from Lafayette and you have those strong fighting roots down there? Everyone knows that the boys that come from Lafayette are tough boys, are tough fighters. You're carrying yourself over into the BKFC. Does that make you want to represent Louisiana a little bit more?
I'd like to think I represent every human in the world, not just Lafayette. I don't identify with one city in this vast cosmos that we live in. I have a cosmic identity, not a state identity or a city identity. So, but with that being said, I have beat a couple people that have trained with Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
And,
so
from the area, we're all from the same area, and I'm really cool with everybody, all the martial artists in the area, but we so happen to fight on the same shows.
Yeah.
And I've fought a couple people from, other gyms in Lafayette.
Yeah, the reason why I was asking that, you know how much that like Poirier and DC and even Alan Jouban is on Sirius XM every afternoon, and he reps Lafayette big time. It seems like those guys that come from that area really love that area and they rep it hard. So that's why I was asking that question. But you have a cosmic identity. I don't know really what that means, and I'm going to need you to explain to me what that means, because I'm an idiot.
I mean, we live in we're more than just one little city. I mean, I'm not saying it's good to represent where you come from. But
you don't want to be defined by just your
Right.
area.
No,
Right.
I love the whole world, not just one city. I've been all over, and there's so many beautiful people everywhere, and beautiful places everywhere you go. So I don't have a favorite place.
Oh my God. Talk about beautiful places. Kyle and I were fortunate enough to go to BKFC Spain. Okay. And the only time I've ever traveled out of the country is when Kyle and I met, which was on deployment in 2012. And we got to go to the wonderful, beautiful country, actually, of Kuwait. And it was just great. I mean, it was nothing but desert. I'm totally joking. It was terrible. But Spain was so nice. Oh my God. And I was talking to somebody earlier at work about it, and he said that he was stationed in Spain for a while. And he said, you know what? I got to give you a tip. Never go somewhere super nice in the beginning of your life because the rest of your life, you're going to be like, wow, this isn't that great. So I thought it was funny. But what places do you have any places specifically that you really like that you've been to that you would love to maybe just go and be on a BKFC card, perhaps?
Oh man, I'm open to go anywhere. I think. I don't know where they all have BKFC cards. I'd be down to go to Spain or Italy.
Yeah,
They've
Where
been
else they have? You know,
they
been-
had Italy.
Yeah, they've been opening up new states left and right? So with were you jumping into the BKFC right now? And I know I was messaging with your management. He seems very he goes hard for you, right? Like he's going to be busy with the BKFC. He seems like a go-getter.
yeah, sure.
They're doing events so often and in so many different places now. Like if you just look in the comment section right now, they're going to Australia soon. They were in Italy, they were in Dubai, they were in Spain.
Mm,
They're going to Texas next month.
Yep.
They're coming up here in a couple weeks to Mohegan Sun. It's like
uh-huh.
every other weekend they're in a new place. So they're back to Manchester in a couple weeks. So as long as you stay healthy, the BKFC, you stay healthy and you fight the way you did in Clearwater, they'll keep you busy for sure, especially in that bantamweight division where they're always looking for new blood. And it's an exciting division already, but the performance that you put on that night, they got to be looking at you like, oh, this kid could be 2 or 3 fights away from fighting any one of those guys in the top 7. You know what I mean?
If they're not looking at me in that way, then they don't know what they have on their hands. But I trust that they have enough. I hope. I mean, I trust that they know what talent looks like when they have it. So, like I said before, it's up to me if I want to pursue it and take over the bantamweight division for BKFC. It's totally my choice. If I find it's worth my time and energy, I'll do so. And that's where I'm at with that. But you said something, you said something about Australia. I am interested in going there.
Yeah, like I said, they're going to all these different countries now. They've been in Bulgaria and they're going to Hungary and they're going to go to South America soon. They're going to be they were in Mexico, and they're all over the place, dude. You're in the hottest, fastest growing company in combat sports at the perfect time, and you put on almost a perfect performance for them. What was great about your performance, what I thought, and maybe you disagree, or because I know you fighters would rather get it done in the first round. You know what I mean? You're not paid by the hour here, but you were able to put on a full 5-round display of your talents, and I think you did a little bit of everything in that fight. You showed incredible footwork. You were circling and counter punching. You were snapping your jab out like ultra fast. You were throwing feints and hitting him with combos. Head movement, like we said earlier, it's just like you were super creative. Chris Lytle kept talking about your creativity. Where does all this where do you get your fight style from, as far as or do you have a style? Because you did throw from certain different angles at times, but then you went to sort of traditional at times. So tell us about your background.
Well, I pick a little bit from everybody. Everybody's book. I pick a little bit. I pick what works for me. Where I train at Flash MMA, we and Tony Tony's boxing. I have a good boxing coach. I have a good trainer, MMA trainer, Zach Matthew, Tony Thibodeau, and all the guys over there. And we got a good boxing program where we really dive a lot into making angles and throwing combinations. So that's where you see a lot of that. I've been working a lot of combination striking and getting the head off line while I'm doing so. Fundamental boxing, and I'm also pretty creative in my own right. I always explore movement all the time. I'm always doing something with my body, because that's pretty much what martial arts is essentially exploring your own movement and flowing with the movement and finding what works for you and disregard what doesn't.
What I thought was kind of cool that you did a few times were throw feints, like throwing feints like you threw in that fight were more of the MMA style. And a lot of even the MMA fighters that come into this sport, they basically just come in and box. You know what I mean? Like, but you definitely, like, you threw the hand up. He fucking threw his hand up, and then you followed it with a combination, and that was very MMA style to me. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But then at times you would settle into your boxing. It was just a really good performance, and that's why I was saying, you didn't get him out of there in the first round, but you put on a display of talent for 5 full rounds. So Dave Feldman, Nate Shook, all the guys that needed to see exactly what they have in their hands here, they got to see it, and I'm sure everybody was as impressed as everybody else was. So with that said, what is next for you? How's the conversation? Did you talk to the bosses that night after your fight? Did you get to talk to David Feldman that night at all, or anything like that?
They're all kind of busy after the fight.
Right.
Kind of, I did get to talk to those guys, but they were kind of short with me. They said they liked the performance. I don't exactly know what's next. I kind of like this kind of sprung up on me because I just threw my hands up and said, whatever's to come is gonna come. I kind of surrendered to it, and these opportunities present themselves like they do, and I'm anyway going to be training. I'm anyway going to be fit. So when another opportunity that makes sense comes up, hey, I should be ready for it.
Yeah.
It's the way I live. Competition or not.
This was a bantamweight fight, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, people are asking. It was 135, guys. So before we got into the talks with your fight, you said you've been on a lot of places. Have you lived a lot of places? We were talking about you being from Lafayette in Louisiana, but have you lived other states and been around a lot of places, or have you been mainly in the state of Louisiana?
I've been around the country a good bit, from the East Coast to West Coast. I've been fortunate enough to just be able to travel and just visit different places for extended periods of time. I mean, after one of my pro boxing matches, I made $2,000, and I was like, all right. On a whim, I just left and drove all the way to Arizona, Utah, stopped at the national parks, went to Idaho, made a big circle back through Colorado. Yeah, I've been all over, man. Yeah, I've been blessed to be able to explore part of the country.
You like to be on the road?
I do. I got a lot.
Because we did hear we did hear that you drove to Clearwater, which was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fighters will turn down the plane tickets and take a ride, but which got me wondering. I'm like, man, what's going through your head when you're in a 14-hour car ride, knowing that you got to get to Clearwater and then cut weight and then step on the scale and then 24 hours later fight somebody with your bare hands? Like, you have a 14-hour car ride to just stew over that shit. What's going through your mind there? How do you stay grounded?
Oh, well, I felt being in a car was grounded. Flying in a
Literally.
plane, you in the air, you're not grounded. But no, nothing, nothing against riding in a bird over there. But and I didn't think it was a big deal to drive there. You know, I like car rides, so uh, I think the biggest reason why was, yeah, actually the reason why I decided to drive there is to exchange the plane tickets for fight tickets for my manager and his wife to get in, and also my mother and my friend's mother who helped a lot with this whole process. I wanted them to be accommodated for the
Nice.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear you say that on another interview that you recently did, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name of the podcast. Maybe you do. You can shout them out. But yeah, you had a noble reason to do it. You drove 14 hours, and you're the one that's going to fight to give tickets away to your family and friends that helped you, which
Very
is
cool.
pretty cool, pretty noble, very nice thing to do. But yeah, 14-hour car ride. Listen, I like car rides too, but man, I'd be like my friggin' back, like, holy shit, gonna sit that long and you're gonna go fight. Oh, my back. My lower back would be killing me in that damn car. But you know what? I'm not training to be a fighter, so you know my back's getting a little bit old there. I do have a question for you, and it's really not my question. The people watching here, fans of yours, they want to know, and it seems like a couple of them want to know the same exact thing. Big Ben and also Chad Burbank are both asking, will you stay at 135 or do you see yourself fighting at a higher weight, moving around, you know, or are you trying to stay?
I don't know, man.
What do you want? Them guns ain't getting any smaller. Look,
Oh,
I think it's a good idea. Before you answer, I personally think that you should stay with your, you know, stay in your division and work your way up. But what are you going to do? What do you think?
well, I mean, if you ask me, if we're not fighting, like, I don't see why not just do catch weights at 140, if that is an option. You know, if we're both around the same size, walk around weight, and if
Sure.
the next opponent would like to agree to a catch weight at 140, just to where we both have a little bit more strength. I don't care if he has strength, you know. I just like to have mine. Uh, and it just, I don't see a point in cutting to 135 unless we're fighting for a title. So, with that being said, I think yeah, I'll stay around the bantamweight division if I don't retire. But we'll see. Yeah,
What are you
145 would be
doing?
heavy.
What are you doing when you're not fighting? You got an interesting way of looking at life and going about the way you think is unique. What are you doing when you're not fighting?
Well, I've been involved a lot with race horses. That's as far as income. Last 5 years, I've been like I've ridden race horses. My grandfather's a big trainer. He just ran a horse in the Kentucky Derby. A Cole Battle horse, Lonnie Briley, is his name, and that's what I've been mostly involved in, other than fighting, and also a lot of yoga and meditation and prayer. I'm very much involved with that. I also really love planting trees, and I'm working on growing a little fruit orchard on my family's property. That's my favorite thing to do out of everything, besides making love with a beautiful woman. But I yeah, I really like getting involved with Mother Earth, and really that's really what I see myself doing long term, is getting more involved with planting the fruit orchard, making a nice place, because we got plenty of property to do some good stuff on, and providing people with a atmosphere to come and for a little while get away from the regular world and come and meditate and pray and get more in touch with reality as far as nature is concerned, away from all the
Wow.
drama.
I like it, man. You're a very interesting guy. You burst onto the scene at Clearwater, Fight Night Clearwater, and you impressed the hell out of everybody. And I think when people get to know you and know how spiritual you are and how you are one with the earth, basically,
So
you're
are you,
not
man.
yeah. Thank you. You are not
We all are.
you are not your average. You don't seem like the average fighter. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to you. There's a lot of layers to this onion for sure. And I want to see you back in the BKFC ring as soon as possible. After the fight, last couple questions because we're gonna let you get up out of here. But you took a little bit of damage on your face, but it wasn't bad. Superficial stuff. It's all gone almost already. How are your hands? Did you take any damage to your hands? Or are you good to go?
There was a little sore afterwards, but they're pretty tough, man. Pretty strong. They're not very big hands, but they're still strong, and they get the job done. I condition them. I do a little bit of I don't know what to call it, but I'll tap on some cinder blocks or some wood and get them strong. Riding race horses also helped my grip strength tremendously, which just adds muscle to the hands, which protects the bone. So I'll continue to keep those conditioned, and I wish my face wouldn't have took so much damage, but if I would have slipped a little bit more and listened a little bit more on moving my head, I wouldn't have got so beat up. So.
Well, you know what? Quentin Gaskins was a tough kid. You guys threw a shit ton of punches at each other. You landed a lot more than him, but he did land some on you. It was a good fight. It was a great fight, actually. Everyone was talking about it afterwards. So congratulations on an amazing debut in the BKFC. Can't wait to see you back in there. Before we let you go, do you have any message you want to send out to your supporters or your fans or anybody that's watching right now or anybody from the BKFC? Take a second, say some things, and then we'll let you get up out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm not one to give advice to anyone, because what do I know? I'm just a piece of life, just like everyone else. But what I would say in today, I feel like we're so disconnected with nature and each other because of digital technology, which has been a very good tool, cell phones and internet and all that. It's a very good tool, but when you give a tool to people who aren't ready for it, they could destroy themselves, which I see us doing. That's the trajectory if we don't catch ourselves. I would say, people, get off of the phones as much as you can if you don't need to be on them. It's also affecting your postures. You're always looking down. And when you're always looking down, it's gonna affect how you feel. So definitely get outside, get involved with Mother Earth, plant trees, because that's where the food comes from, the ground. So get involved with the soil. There's projects going on that are addressing these issues. Save Soil Project. There's plenty of resources to get your mind right too. If you need to know some, just reach out to me on my Instagram and I'll direct you to the right places.
What's your Instagram?
It's Logan_Speyrer.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So
good stuff. Good stuff, Logan, man.
Get back with her.
I love it, man. Hey, thank you for that. And I think once a lot of people see this, the people that are watching now, but the ones that are going to listen on Spotify and whatnot, once they hear you speak, they're going to be more interested in seeing you fight. So thanks for coming on here, man. Good job in your fight. Can't wait to see you back in there again and doing your thing again. Mike, do you have anything else for Logan Speyrer?
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Beautiful, beautiful fight. Loved every moment of it, as did everybody else that I spoke to. Cannot wait to see you fight again. And I want everybody watching to get on the BKFC app. If you don't have it already, make sure you download it. And you can go and you can rewatch this fight. Go look it up. Gaskins versus Speyrer. Very good fight. BKFC Fight Night, Clearwater. Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. And you're also welcome to stick around, because do you know who we have coming up next? Following you is the new champ, the newest champ in all of the BKFC world. And that is Josh D-Day Dyer. So, Logan, thank you so much. And, stick around and check out Josh Dyer, see what he's got to say. And have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mish. I appreciate it.
Later, Logan.
Thank you. Take it easy. When we come back, Josh Dyer.
How's it going, guys?
Josh,
It is
super
the champ.
shredder. Super Shredder Dyer over there with the gold belt, man. Holy shit, Josh. Welcome back to the show and congratulations on becoming a world champion, dude. Unbelievable.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Good to be back again. We've been doing this for a while now. You guys have been there since the very beginning. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
We have. Dude, we
That
were
is
talking about
correct.
that last week when we were talking to Mike Richmond. He didn't realize that you and him fought on that Birmingham card.
Oh, yeah.
When he fought Marcel Stamps, you fought Juggernaut that night.
Yeah, he completed my parlay. I would have won a lot of money if I would have won that night.
Yeah, he did teach us, though, and I knew this, but I didn't think about it, is that you guys actually met before that at Valor. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I didn't like connect that, because I have seen your Valor fight and I've seen his Valor fight, and there was only really one Valor event. I mean, there is two now, but at that point, there was only one, and it was for a long time. And I just remember specifically watching you guys in the Kumite there fighting, and never linked that together. I always link Birmingham because that was like our beginning, you know, and it was also your beginning, kind of, and so it was his too. You know, I mean, it wasn't your beginning, but I don't know. It was the start of our BKFC career, and meeting you there. I think you might have been. Were you the first interview we ever did? You were one of the first. That was the first live, like face-to-face interviews that Kyle had done at a hotel, and you were one of them.
I don't know if I was the very first, but I was definitely one of them.
It was one of the first few. Zach Collins was out there too. I don't remember who was the first, but it was. You know who it actually was? You know who I think it was? The first person I actually did a live. I think it was Tom Schoaf. Actually,
well, that guy deserves it.
I did a Tom Schoaf interview at Knuckle Mania, the first one, at the first Knuckle Mania, but it sucked so bad and the sound sucked so bad we never actually put it out. I think that was the first one. We learn as we go. Interesting fact about that night in Birmingham, Josh. Do you want to hear something funny? Mike and I were so new to this shit that we didn't really know where we could go or what we can do inside those arenas. So in the top deck of that arena, I went all the way up to the top deck and I'm looking at the rafters above the place. And I was like, I wonder if I could get up in those fucking rafters and take pictures of the ring from the top down. I found this rolling ladder, leaned it against this platform thing, climbed up there, and I fucking went up into the rafters of that Birmingham place,
like
that you
above
guys
the
were
lights, like
all. I
was low crawling on this like thing that was like swaying up on the ceiling. I was so nervous. It was hot as fuck up there, and I'm like taking pictures from above the ring.
We might even have some of you actually from up there,
dude. Dusty as fuck. And then I'm sitting there. I'm like, what if this thing fucking collapses while I'm up here? I'm gonna die.
Think about it once you get up there.
Yep. And then I backed my ass
out in the ring.
Yeah. Yep. I got out of there quick as hell. And it was a hell of a night. But man, not as great of a night as you had in Salt Lake City the other night. My man, Mike Richmond, is one of the best that has ever done this sport. And you know this, a lot of people know this. Mike is just so cerebral and so fucking good at this sport. Man, nothing against Mike, but you just did whatever you wanted in that fight. Did you? And it did go 3 rounds, and the doctors did stop it. He was never going to quit. That's one thing about Mike Richmond.
He was like, oh man.
It didn't matter what fight. Didn't matter how much damage you did to him. He was not going to quit. The doctor stopped it. What's going through your head when you're out there and you're just landing at will and you're piecing him up and you're doing this and you're like, you're a fan of his, you're a friend of his, and you're just like, man, are you thinking like it shouldn't be this easy? Not to call it easy, but like it came across as easy for you, dude.
I did it. It's tough, man, because like I saw it going 2 different ways. One, I saw it going exactly the way that I had trained for it to go, and the other thought was, Mike's just so tough that he's gonna find a way to fuck some shit up for me. But I was extremely confident in my style. But my style was, we trained to go out there and just grab them, and get that meat hook in and just feed them uppercuts and like manhandle them. But we were asked about an hour before the show to not like get all crazy and do anything that would potentially create any of those chaotic scenarios where I got the no contest in the past. So I was like, you know what, screw it. We're going to go out and snipe a Marine sniper. All right, let's get it. So we went out there. We showed people that I don't have to go out there and be crazy and go around and do all the, athletic style type fighting. I can snipe too. And, I've been trying to save that for a while because I've always been good at it. But this fight, it definitely went a lot better for me. And yeah, it was definitely one of the best fights I've ever had.
It was amazing. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to ask you about this. I see a lot of people making kind of a deal. I don't know if about a big deal, but like making it a point to bring up the fact that you were told not, or you were asked not to fight a certain way. But I would imagine this isn't the first time a promoter has told a fighter, "Hey, fucking be careful out there," or whatever was said. Did it really change the way you? I don't know. Like, where was your head at when you had that conversation?
Yeah, we came up with a brand new game plan. Yeah, we completely changed our game plan. Came up with a new one in 1 hour, and then we went out and performed. So I mean, I trained for months with the other game plan. All my workouts were centered around building power and strength to be able to like grab him with that meat hook and like shove him around the ring and just keep him off balance. So that way he can never really fire shots at me. But, like sometimes you get a little curveball thrown at you and you're like, hey, you're right. I get that even if I win, if it's not the look that you guys are looking for, then I didn't do my job correctly. So we're like, all right, hey, I wish we would have been planning this a little bit earlier, but we know that I have the skills. So we're just like, let's just go do it. We'll try to get the knockout. And, Mike just ended up being about 10 times more tough than I expected. So yeah, I didn't secure the beautiful knockout that I was looking for.
But do you look at, did you rewatch the fight and like when you change your game plan an hour before the fight, right? And then the fight goes so well for you. Do you sit there and think that like, you know what? We worked on another game. Why weren't we working on this fucking game plan the whole time?
Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, you just get a curveball, you got to call the audible. And as a fighter, I mean, if I want to go and fight for world championship, I mean, I could wake up sick. I could have the flu. I could have, I could twist an ankle on the day of. I have to be so much better than my opponent that I could literally show up on my worst day ever and still beat him on his best day ever. So I make sure that when I roll in, I'm prepared for everything. So I told everybody to pay attention to watch it. It was going to be a good one. I worked really hard for this. And so I knew that the odds of me doing exactly what I plan on doing were really high.
Not even on my worst day, pal. That's what I think of as soon as you say that. You ever were you thinking that, Kyle?
Yeah.
You ever see Ed Bassmaster, Josh?
Have I seen what?
Ed Bassmaster. He's the guy with the YouTube. He's got like a YouTube channel, and he was the guy who was trying to buy a car, and he's like, "Would you look at that? Would you look at that?" And he's got the guy. He does the psh, psh.
Yeah.
Would you look at psh. And he goes up to Pete. He goes, psh, "Not even on my worst day, pal."
Dude, he walks with his arms out like this, and like fucking big times people.
It's funny. No, I haven't seen him, but I saw that when he was trying to buy the Corvette. He's like, just look at it.
Why don't you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get the title, right?
Oh yeah.
It's surreal because you get that title, okay? And you probably didn't even know this happened, but when you watch it back, you see it. They're announcing that you're the winner and you're just taking it all in, but you're doing it with your eyes closed. It's like you're really trying to get in the moment. You're not letting anything surrounding you get into your world. It's all cerebral. You're listening. You can't see, you're just taking it all in. And Feldman comes up. He's trying to take the picture with you with the belt, but you're in your zone, man. You're just taking it all in. And I think he didn't realize it at first. And then he kind of looked at you, kind of like was like, "Hey, pitcher," and then looked at you and was like, he's living it up. I'm just gonna leave him alone. And he kind of stepped away. Did you see that when you watched it back?
No, no, I didn't notice that. But yeah, I'm sure that probably happened. But yeah, I know that when they were announcing everything, I mean, I was even talking with my eyes closed for a second because really, I mean, I've been envisioning this for 2 years. And so like when it's finally there, I'm just like, yeah, for a second, I'm going to soak that in. And I didn't plan on doing it there. It just kind of happened, like it's just very cool.
Hit you
You
all
lived
at once.
it your way, man.
Oh yeah.
You were a fucking feeling.
You were a fucking feeling. That's right.
I am a fucking feeling.
Feeling.
Little
man.
Bret Hart.
Little Bret
Yeah.
Hart. You had a little Bret
I'm not a
Hart. moment.
person.
I'm feeling.
Now
So,
you know what
dude,
she was talking about.
yeah.
Now we all
So
know.
yeah, now you know. You felt what she was feeling in that
You're the
moment.
fe-
There you
yup.
go, brother.
Yeah. I
So,
just
dude,
can't say it because I'm not a female, so I can't get away with saying stuff like that. I'll
all right.
become a meme. They'll be like, yeah, this guy's a meme now. There we go.
Yep. So now, Josh, you got the belt. And everybody wants to fight you now, right? Jared wants
yeah,
to get back at
my
you.
inbox
Jomi
is
wants to
blowing
fight
up.
you. Yep, Jomi wants to fight you. Jared wants his title back.
Yeah,
Lorenzo,
he
people are,
wants
I
my
don't know if
title back.
I don't know if Lorenzo has hit you up at all, but people keep throwing Lorenzo's name out there. Have you
Yeah,
had any contact with him?
Yeah, I got the phone with him a couple hours ago. Yeah, we were chatting it up for. Me and Lorenzo are cool.
Yeah.
He gets a bad rap, for like trying to, I don't know, piss everybody off or anything. But the dude's a good dude.
Sure,
But he just called to chat it up and congratulate me. Wasn't asking for a fight. He just wanted to say, he's very proud of me. Did a good job. He said, hopefully you're state champ for a long time. Gave me a couple pointers on social media. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I appreciate everything. And then I think he was having dinner with Feldman or something in Cancun. So he was just chilling. So, yeah.
Nice. But the biggest name out of all of them is the one you called out in the ring that night, which is phenomenal. The
king of silence.
You're talking. So Platinum Mike Perry, right? So you said in the ring that night,
aluminum Mike Perry.
So he hit you up in the inbox and said, "I hope you win." Is that what happened?
Yeah. The night before, he just said he hopes I win so that he can come and punch my face and prove that he's the tougher Mike or something. So I was like, sure, dude. All right, well, here we go. I did it. I won. Now let's go ahead and get this together. I mean, obviously everybody wants to fight you. I'm not going to deny that it's a very attractive fight for me, but I do actually want his belt too, because I think that the King of Violence should have that belt, and I do think that is me. So I'd like to go and see if I can take that from him.
Well, if you just put a little highlight reel of your last two fights, just your last two fights with the fucking starch job you did in fucking Sturgis, and then the razor blade job you did in the last one, like King of Violence is right up your alley, man. Like I was saying earlier in this show before we got Logan on, we were doing our intro here, and I was talking about the photos of Mike that were making their way around the internet. And those photos back in the day when I first started watching BKFC, what got me to watch BKFC was Artem Lobov versus Jason Knight, BKFC fight. And I didn't see the fight yet. I saw the photos of Lobov and Jason Knight's faces afterwards, and that made me go watch it. And that made me subscribe to the app, and that has gotten me hooked ever since. And I started the podcast, and I started covering the sport right around like BKFC 12 or 13, right around there when I started getting BKFC fighters on. The photo of Mike that was making its way around is just as visceral and just as appealing as the Artem Lobov, Jason Knight photos were to me back in the day. I feel like people see that and they're going to be like, I have to go see this sport. If they haven't jumped on board yet, those photos right there would make someone very damn interested. And that is photo evidence of what you're capable of in that last fight. And to me, that is the makings of a King of Violence.
Yeah. Well, I would say that I was actually kind of a little taken aback when I saw those photos. I was just like, holy shit. I think it was like the graphic was hidden when I seen it. So I unhid it. And then I was like, damn. All right. I'm like, I wish that dude would have just gone down a little earlier. But, Mike is he's a killer, and he has the heart of a champion. They don't stay down. They do not stay down. So that was unfortunate, and I wish I could have picked my aim a little better. Maybe knocked him out before all the damage was done. But unfortunately, I wasn't finding his chin. I kept finding his forehead, and my hands paid the price for that. But yeah, I wish I could have just caught him on the chin and made this a little bit of a quicker night. I was going to win anyway. I'd rather have been like that. But the dude he just comes forward, doesn't stop. He's got nonstop pressure, and I was able to snipe him. So yeah, he did catch me with a couple body shots though. I sneezed earlier and I almost died. So I will say that he popped me with a couple of rib shots, a liver shot that I didn't let anybody know it hurt me, but it still hurts. It's hurt like every day. It hurts more than it did that night. And so like I'm a stomach sleeper and I can't even sleep on my stomach right now. And he only got me like 3 or 4 times in the stomach. So I can only imagine if he would have started popping off, but it worked better for me that night. So I'm very grateful for that.
That reminds me of the Dakota Cochran fight when he fought Dakota Cochran and he hit him with them body shots, and that dude looked like he was going to die in that ring. Yeah. I don't ever want to. I am not jealous of you whatsoever.
I trained my core. I trained my core like 3 times a day for like the last 11 weeks because I knew if I didn't and he caught me to the body and I wasn't prepared, I would be in a bad spot. So I worked out my abs so freaking hard. And I was barely able to withstand some of those. And so I'm just like, they are good.
It's wild to even think about fighting after being hit that way, because if anybody's ever been hit hard in the solar plexus, you know,
it got me good.
It like you can't breathe. You can't fucking breathe. So if you're watching this show and you've never been hit like in the perfect spot or not even like your whole body almost shuts down.
Oh yeah.
Imagine somebody fucking chasing you around the ring, a professional fighter, and you can't fucking breathe. You can barely even stand. You got to fucking defend yourself. Like, it is insane to think that you guys worked through.
He got my liver, my solar plexus, and my floating rib all within like the first 2 rounds. And I was just like, well, he's got them all flared up, and we'll see. I think he popped my floating rib one more time, and thank God it wasn't my liver. But we were able to make it through.
Man,
dude, I will say this: you are a fucking massive 185er. Like when you. Like, yeah, it always blows my mind when I see like guys like yourself that look like you're 235 pounds, but you're 185 pounds. Like when I was out in Sturgis, when we were out in Sturgis, did you see Brian Atchison walking around?
Oh yeah,
dude. How is that motherfucker 205 pounds?
Huge. I know.
I was standing next to him interviewing him. I'm 205, and I am like 5 inches shorter than that guy, and he looks like he's got like so much more muscle on him. And I'm like, all right, how the fuck are you a 205er? This doesn't even make any goddamn sense. I kind of feel like the same way about you. Is your walk around weight a lot higher than 285? Do you cut a lot to get down there?
So this fight, I was about 205. So I cut down 20. What was that? So 185, 15, 20, 25. So I cut about 20-ish pounds for this one. And like right before my fight, I went out and ate a bunch of Culvers, and so I was like technically like 210. So I cut from 210, and I got back up to like 206 for the fight. So yeah, I was a wrestler, so I understand the water cut. You know, I usually cut about 20 to 25 pounds in about 3 days before the fight, and I hit that scale and I drink some water, and then we go back out there and we do our thing. But I mean, I drink the electrolytes, the vitamins, the beets, you know, the cayenne pepper. I do all the good stuff, man. So everything that like benefits your blood and your blood flow and like your ability to breathe, oxygenation, your iron. I'm basically like a nutritionist. You know, like I understand how to, you know, pull these minerals out and then put them back in, and it works really well for me.
It's crazy, man. And when you and Mike get in that ring, I don't know how much more weight Mike puts on after he weighs in at 185, but I was like, man, Josh is a big boy, man. I would not want to fight this fucking guy. And now that you have fought Mike and you are now the champion of that division. He said he's going to go to another weight class. You felt his power at 185. Can you imagine like if he cuts down to 165 and starts hitting welterweights with the same shit that he was hitting you?
You saw what he did. I mean, when he fought Mundell, I mean, as soon as he touched him with his left hand, Mundell did go down. You know, granted, Mundell got back up and was able to recover and do his thing, but if Mike catches anybody clean, he's gonna drop him in that weight class. And with me, I mean, I very rarely get stunned. You know, in round 1, he caught me right at the end with that left cross and just boom, I was like stumbling backwards. I was like, yep, That's a hard hitting dude. I'm like in a lower weight division, that doesn't have such a strong person. I got a strong chin, a strong neck. I do all the neck exercises. So when I get smashed, it takes a lot to rock me. And he had me freaking seeing stars. I was like stumbling back to the ropes. So thank God the round was over. I was like, all right, we're gonna come back and see if we can't straighten some stuff out.
I can't wait to see what's next for you and Mike too. Like now that Mike's going to move on to another division, we'll see what he does because I think he's got a lot of fight left in him. But I mainly want to know what they do with you next because I think you're extremely marketable. You're a funny guy. You have a good personality. Hanging out at Sturgis was fun as fuck at that grunt style party, right? Grunt style party was, that after party was fun as hell. And Connor was there. Connor was there with the little person. You know what I mean? It was
he's got the chaps on walking around.
It was a good time. So I think they could do a lot with you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can in the short window of time I have left. I'm 34. I've probably got at most 5 years. If things go really, really well for me, I could always fight another dude like Lorenzo and have a bad night or something. So I'm just gonna try to stay healthy. If I can keep having fights like this where I can leave healthy, I'm happy to try to stay busy. And like hop back on cards and get in there and entertain people. I love this. I want to make as much money as I can in a very short amount of time. So I don't own my own house yet. So I'm like, hey, I'd love to be able to go and just pay a house off cash, skip the triple, interest freaking payments. And I'm just like, I'd rather just have that. So I'm just excited. I want to go out there. I want to fight dudes like Perry. I want to fight the superstars. I've got the skills to do it. So now I just need to become marketable and get on my social media platform, everything, get all that rolling and try to get some big name guys. I'd love to go and tear up Perry and then go and hit up Jake Paul, even be like, all right, you fought one bare knuckle guy. Let's see if you can take me. We'll see how this goes.
I think you're already marketable. I think you are marketable. You just need to be marketed now. Like BKFC needs to put you out there now more. They need to show your face. They need to put you on posters. They need to sell you. Obviously you got to do your own thing too. You got to get on social media more and all that stuff. And do you have a social media marketing person that maybe you, cause like, I know a lot of people have managers and stuff, but I feel like it's going to take even just doing this podcast with Kyle and I, like it takes like a special type of person to be able to fucking just stay doing that all the time.
It does. And I just don't have a heart for it. I need to hire someone and I've just been kind of waiting till the money increases just a little bit so I could justify spending it. My camps cost a lot of money. I've got the best strength conditioning program in the world for 5 years in a row that I do. I'm out there busting butt and I got a business I'm trying to run. And so it's just like, I got a lot on my plate, got 3 kids at home. And I'm just like, we gotta find a little bit of balance here too. And I'd be very nice to like replace my business with fighting if possible. So I just need to be able to stay more active. But yeah, if I can have nonstop camps, I'd like to say that I'll be able to enter a lot of these fights and exit them relatively undamaged and stay busy. That'd be a very great goal for me. So I just want to see a little bit more phone calls.
Well, now that you're a champ, Mike, you know what they could do is they can. You know how everyone's making remakes of movies? They remake movies.
Oh yes, I wonder what he's going to say.
They should go ahead. And I know it's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I would bless off on a remake of Bloodsport starring Josh Dyer and Zach Helmuth.
Oh, I wonder, like this? Are you saying like these two guys right here?
Hey, we can pull it off.
I'm telling you, Frank Dukes and Ray Jackson right there in the remake of Bloodsport. They remade fucking Roadhouse.
And Conor McGregor's part of Bare Knuckle now. Why don't you guys all get together? You can remake the movie. Look at that. It's perfect.
I'm with it.
What a team up that would be, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, listen, look at this picture. This is BKFC 17, Birmingham, Alabama, the morning of the fights. This was a long time ago. This was April. I mean, for my pictures, it says April 30th, 2021. I believe that was the date. Oh, my God. Look at you now.
Yeah.
There you are, my friend.
Oh, shit. They updated it. They always use my crackhead looking picture when I'm like 30 pounds dehydrated. They can't just let me get a drink of water first.
We'll complain to them and say, you need to change this picture immediately.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm not surprised at all. They've used like all the shittiest pictures for like the last 5 years. I was like, guys, just use it tomorrow. I'm like, my eyes swell up because I have no freaking water in my body and I look like I'm on crack and PCP. So We gotta do something about this.
Come on, BKFC. Why are you hating on our boy Josh Dyer? Why don't you put up a different picture, damn it? Come on now.
We're
Put
embarrassing.
some respect on his name.
Hey, if I mean, in all fairness, look at Dave Mundell in the picture.
I know, he looks like
next
he's
to you.
about to fall asleep.
Dave looks like he's a fucking featherweight in that picture. What the hell is that Dave Mundell picture? He looks like a skinny little guy, not a fucking 175-pound champion. That's
making me want to go take his belt too now.
okay. With that, so let's just say this. Okay, no, that's funny that you say that because somebody mentioned it in the comment section. Would you be willing to go down and fight, or would that interest you to go down and fight Redneck?
Maybe that'd be a hell of a weight cut. So we'll see. I'll keep it as an option. I'd do that sooner than I would go and fight at 205. I like being the bigger, stronger guy and more durable. I mean, I'm choosing like the most brutal sport in the world, so I'd like to have all the most brutal advantages. And once I hit 205, I lose a lot of those advantages to guys like you said over there, Defiant Bryant, with this freaking gigantic physique. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll let the big, huge dudes smash each other. I'll be the big, huge guy in my weight division, and maybe 75 too. So that'd be kind of cool. Go snatch up that belt. Redneck he's a tough guy, but I think I could take him too. So we'll see. I got to see if I can actually get there because I don't want to be like getting like 2 pounds away and then dying and then not being able to make it. So we'll see. We got a program to where we could probably make it, but that's going to be a tight one.
You know what's crazy about that picture that Mike showed of you? You were getting ready to fight your second fight in the BKFC on that morning. Yes. You were about to fight Juggernaut Hunt, who had already fought 5 fucking times for the company. You know what I mean? Like Lorenzo freaking Hunt is as tough and as big and strong and scary as they get. And you were only 1 fight into your career, and they're like, yeah, what about a fight against Lorenzo Hunt? You're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And you did. And you went rounds with that. Did you go all 5 or did they? You were having problems with your contacts in that fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I went about halfway through the 5th round, and then shit wasn't popping for me. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm like, he just dropped me again in the 5th. I'm like, I can't see at the moment. I'm like, I'm just eating murderous shots. I'm already going to the emergency room. I'm like, nah, we're good. I went, I puked blood all night in the emergency room. Couldn't see. My eyeball was like, it looked like it was exploded. It was bleeding for like a month. It looked like I was like that Kano guy from Mortal Kombat, the red eye.
Yeah.
Kano.
Yeah. So that's what it was, right? You were dealing with contacts that whole time, but you have since, and we were talking about this with Mike the other day, you got LASIK eye surgery, right?
After Lorenzo beat my ass, I was like, okay, I'm never going to let this happen again because Lorenzo don't need no help beating somebody's ass. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get these eyes fixed so that I don't got contacts flying out every time he touches me. So I went through 5 contacts that night. That was a rough one.
That's crazy.
It blows my mind that fighters will even step into a combat sport with contacts in their eyes. I feel like that is just fucking completely insane.
Yeah, it is. But my vision was like negative 5.75. So I had extremely very bad vision, but I was really good at fighting, and I was going to use the fighting career to kind of pay for some of that stuff a little later because I was, still kind of struggling with money. So I'm like, hey, let's get in here, do what I do best, and maybe get a couple fights deep. I mean, I already won 2, so I thought, hey, I might be able to sneak through the next one. Jared knocked my contact out as well, but I was able to get him with the 1 in. But Lorenzo wasn't able to. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fix this. And since then, things have been popping off really well.
What do you think about that possibility of that fight happening for the 3rd time? Because you guys already, the Jared Warren, he literally just won too.
Yeah.
So the possibility, I don't personally think that BKFC is going to make that fight next for you. I don't.
Yeah, he's definitely not next. I'm salty. I will fight Jared again. He's not competitive. I mean, he can't, he can't beat Mike. I got Mike. There's a couple levels down that this guy is for me, and he put me on the shelf for 2 years. Like he could have absolutely had my back in that. And when I went down to Hollywood, they said they're going to make me wait another couple of years until they thought I'd improved enough to be able to be on his level. So I will let you guys know that I am absolutely going to make him wait the same amount of time he made me wait. He blocked me on everything. He ran. He got to be champ, and he made sure that he didn't fight anybody that could beat him until he got to Mike, because he thought he was going to beat Mike, but he severely underestimated how much he sucks on the inside. And yeah. But no, I'll beat Jared's ass again someday. If he's still fighting in 2 years, I'll give him a shot. But I'm not gonna do him any favors, because he didn't do me any favors. So we're gonna chill.
Yeah, I knew a little bit of heat. That thing amped up a little bit. And it was it's not really weird, but you guys seemingly got along. And then the second fight, it was like, oh, cool, we had the first fight, whatever, we're gonna have the second fight, and then everything went down. And then after that, it seemed like it was cool at first, right? Like afterwards, I believe, if I remember correctly, there was actually video and pictures of you guys afterwards talking and kind of like, hey, my bad, we'll fight again, And then after that, the stories went opposite directions, and I feel like all hell broke loose between you two guys. And the friendship was gone, and he blocked you and all that shit you just said.
Well, that night after the fight was over, we went down and to where they were having like the post-fighter press conference, and I could see that like the knot that was on his head was in the legal zone. And so I was just like, okay, but I'm not going to say too much, and Larry, my corner, pointed out, and he's like, just so you know, like that mark on his head is in the legal zone. So like you hit him here, and if any part of your fist is touching the ear, that's legal. And that was according to the rule books, that we went over before everything. And so I was like, all right, well, there's that. And then the next morning, though, that swelling had shifted from his ear all the way to the very back of his head. And he had taken pictures and shared them everywhere. And now it looks like I just took a baseball bat to the back of his head. And I was just like, okay, that's a little misleading, because anybody that looks at this is going to assume now that I smashed him in the back of the head. But just because I hit you in one spot and it swells, another 6 inches doesn't mean that I hit you at the end of that 6 inches as well. So I felt like every post he was sharing that, and I was like, all right, dude. I'm like, whatever. Like you do whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and start talking shit again. Let's go ahead and get a fight rolling, because he didn't have a fight signed up, and neither did I. And I thought that we were among the two best. So I was like, let's just reset this up quick, talk some shit. We'll get our chance again and go from there. And then he just did not follow that same plan. It sounded cool at first, and then it just wasn't. And I was just like, okay. So I'm like, obviously he doesn't want to fight me, and I get it, but I just thought it would have been an honorable thing to do. So no, he didn't have my back in that situation, so I won't have his.
Understandable, I guess. Let me ask you this though. So Mike Perry is the goal. You want Mike Perry, and if
I think that for my career temporarily, I mean, and for everybody's career, anybody who fights Mike Perry is gonna have a great day. Right. But he made it. He wanted the belt.
Do you think, have you in the BKFC or your management in BKFC talked about this? Is it a possibility?
Yeah, it's a possibility. He's sharing stuff. I mean, every couple of days I see Perry sharing some more stuff, calling me out. So I'm calling him out. I'm trying to stay active on it. Never been a big social guy.
The reason why I'm asking you, because that is good. That's good that he's engaging, and I think that is definitely a fight that people can get very interested in. And anything that Mike Perry is involved with is everyone's gonna be interested in seeing that. But then after seeing how you just took that belt and how you, in the fashion that you just did that, people are gonna want to see this fight. You're a big, strong dude. You do damage. I was looking at this. He just brought the rankings up, and like if they're gonna go off of rankings here, if you're not gonna fight Jared and Mundell, for some reason Mundell is still ranked at number 2. Some handsome bastard number 4 down there in your own division. Some guy named Josh Dyer is ranked number 4.
Yes.
You got the champion at the top, but then number 4.
I didn't even notice that.
Josh Dyer, you can fight that son of a bitch right there.
Oh my God, that could be like the Running Man.
Yeah, this is so funny to me, man. I like how many times you got to beat somebody and they're still like ranked higher than you. I'm laughing so hard at this. I'm just like, all right, 15 times later, I beat this cat and he's still ranked higher.
So what I'm saying is, if it's not Dave Mundell, if it's not Jared Warren, Jomi, I know Jomi wants to fight you, but like if you go by the the BKFC math or MMA math, like you just said, Jomi has lost twice to Jared Warren. So I mean, I don't think it would be Jomi. Danny Christie's moved down to 165. He's sitting there at number 6, and Jay Jackson just lost. So it has to be Perry. It has to be Perry, or they're going to bring somebody else in from another division.
Yeah, we got to figure something out. I'm like, Jared's he's gonna wait a minute, and they can call me up and they can talk to me about it, and I'll just be like, hey, I will fight the guy. I've already fought the guy twice. I will fight the guy again. But you guys are not going to do to me you're going to do to him what you did to me. And he's going to enjoy that. And he's going to understand that by not pushing for me, I'm not going to be pushing for him. So I'm like, this could have been way different.
Right. Jomi is, and I will say, I'm not disrespecting Jomi. I'm saying Jomi does have one of the most impressive records in all of bare knuckle fighting at 10-2. Like, that's a ton of fights. He's got a ton of wins, and he did just walk through Jay Jackson. But I'm saying, like, the way that they do their matchmaking, I don't know if the win over Jay Jackson puts him in the title fight, but I do think those are the 3 names that make the most sense: Mike Perry, Jared Warren, and Jomi. Those would be the 3. Nobody else in that top 5 or 6 in that division makes sense. Maybe number 4, Josh Dyer, if you go in.
Yeah, I bet you that'd be a good fight.
You go beat yourself in the fucking middle of the ring there.
They better sell out.
Nah, man, I can't wait to see what they do with you, man. Congratulations. It's a massive, massive achievement for you. It's been a long time. Like you said, we've been fucking doing this thing for a long time. And we've known you for the better part of 4.5 years now. And now you're a fucking world champion, my friend. I'm very happy for you. You got any final words you want to say out there? You want to send Platinum Perry a message? You want to send anybody a message? Take a minute. The champ has the floor. Go do your thing, Josh.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of time with my family. Spend a couple of weeks, getting myself, kind of detox from the whole fight, mentality for a little bit. I always like to take a little break. I'm not trying to stay out too long this time, but I would just say biggest thing here is I just want Mike, if he's talking, like he really wants to do this, let's do it. I want to know sooner rather than later, so I can make sure that I'm 100% ready. I'm not trying to get no 2-week heads up or nothing. So I'll be like, if you want this belt, because I know you don't want to fight me, but if you want this belt, then dude, let's get that rolling, because we got some money to make. But other than that, I'm good. I appreciate you guys bringing me on the show again. It's always nice to sit down and chat it up with you guys.
Hell yeah, man. You know what? Hey, if you're healthy by August 2nd, and you've already knocked somebody out in Sturgis, South Dakota, and there's gonna be 1.5 million people at Sturgis Bike Rally this year. It's the 85th anniversary, and they're planning on 40,000 people being around that ring this time. Maybe Josh Dyer returns to the fucking hot weather of South Dakota as champion and fights Platinum Perry. With a fucking,
that'd be great.
Oh man,
I've got my doubts that they'll do it, but yeah, if they want it, we'll get it. I'd love to defend my world championship belt in my home state, at Sturgis against Platinum Perry. That sounds ideal. So yeah, if they want that, they better call quick, because if not, I'm going to start my painting business and get that rolling for another month or so and go from there.
Dude, how insane would that be for you? Oh my God! Now I'm going to start. I'm gonna speak that into fruition for you, Josh.
Me too. I'm going to get my candle out, turn the lights off. We're gonna perform the seance. Yeah,
getting that Rasha. Get into the Rasha.
Breaking my chicken bone, get the longer one. Yes. All right.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. World champion, light heavyweight champion, Josh D-Day Dyer. They're calling you Josh Sniper Dyer in the freaking chat room here. So thanks for coming on. You are always welcome back here. And Mike, do you have anything else for D-Day?
I do have one last question just before you thought you were going to get away. We pull you back.
I was hoping you had one.
I do. I have one more, and it's the most important one of all.
Yes.
When you see your family and your children, what was that moment like?
That was so awesome, man. I came in the door, they had all these balloons ready for me. Number 1, you're the best, all floating through the living room. Oh yeah, man. We were sucking helium out of it, doing our super high pitched voices, and I gave them all the presents. I let him hold my belt. My daughter runs up and goes like hit it with her knuckles. And then she's like crying because she knows so hard. And she's just like, oh my God. My son runs up to me. He's like, I'm Josh Dyer. Punches me in the freaking spot that Richmond punched me in. So now I'm like in straight agony over here from a 7-year-old. I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, I'm like, quit that.
Did he sneak it in his backpack for show and tell yet?
Nah, it was like showing. It was bring a stuffed animal day yesterday. He's like, can I bring the belt? I'm like, nah, better not. Better not. You better just bring your monkey that I bought you. So got a little Salt Lake City monkey, the ones that like hang with a little Velcro, and you just put it on your neck and you walk around, they swing.
Oh man, you know what? How cool is that going to be? Because I know you're going to do this. It's another thing we're going to talk into existence. You're going to go to that school and you'll represent your kids. And they're going to be like, this is my dad.
Oh yeah.
World
I brought the belt to school yesterday. So when I picked it
so
up,
you did it.
I did. And everybody was like running up to me and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, it's want all the other dads here to know I'm the toughest.
Yes.
That
is like, what a flex.
Yeah.
Your kids are probably so fucking proud of you, man. And they get to go to school and say, hey, that's my dad, world champion, bare knuckle fighter, Josh Dyer.
It's an honor.
Fantastic,
man.
Happy with that. Love it, love it, love it. You know, anybody can appreciate that, kids or no kids. That's fantastic. And by the way, I'm sure that your kid might be 7, but if he's anything like you, he probably punches like a 30-year-old. So,
oh yeah, he already put me in the sleep hole. Yeah, that Instagram video where he put me in the rear naked choke, it put me to sleep. Yeah, like 7 million people saw that. I didn't fake that. He legitimately sunk it in, and like I helped him with it, and I went to sleep. I couldn't believe it. It was right after Sturgis. I was like, no, but that'd be a confidence flex for you, buddy. I'm like, you can put a full-grown man to sleep. So, you know, if anybody breaks in the house, you know, I'll go low, you go high. Freaking you sink in the choke. And we'll tear them up together.
Not the house. Wrong house, guys.
Wrong house. Little kids climbing on the ceiling. They're like, yes.
Good shit, Josh.
Hell yeah, man. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a long ride. It's been a good ride. And you're here at the promised land. You've got the belt, and I cannot wait to see what happens next for you.
Absolutely.
Career,
yeah.
man. Very happy
I'll
for you.
let you guys know the next time I hear anything, and maybe we can schedule something else.
Yes, sir. Of course. Always, always, always welcome on the Mike and Mish show. And we will hopefully run into you soon. Maybe in Sturgis.
I'll be there.
Maybe in Texas.
Might not
be
make
it to Texas. Maybe not. Maybe so.
Antarctica. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. BKFC Antarctica.
What are you guys doing so close to the ice wall? I'm like, nothing. I'm just chilling. No.
About to punch through it. See what's on the other side.
I'm just hanging out, you know. What are you guys doing?
Damn, I totally forgot that you are total 100% into conspiracies. I like to dive into that myself. We need to get you on here one day and do conspiracy land. But yeah, man.
My guy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. This time we're really going to let you go unless Kyle says he has one more question. Then we do this until tomorrow.
I'm good, brother.
All right. All right, Josh.
Enjoy the rest of your night then. I'm going to go finish watching a movie and hit the sack.
Yes, sir.
Later, buddy.
Good night, champ.
Good night.
Be right back after this.
Later, Josh. Awesome, dude. Fucking, I'm happy for him for sure, and I love him and Mike. They're both great dudes, and either one comes out victorious. I'm happy for either one of those guys. And Josh has been at this for a long time, and he had to go through one of the toughest people on the planet to get that belt, and it was unbelievable. That was fucking unbelievable
he put on
fight.
A great performance. I mean, it was like flawless victory.
It really was. And like,
he got caught a few times, like he said, in the body, and there was like one good one that he caught to the chin, and it got him a little wobbled. But otherwise, he was pretty much in control most of that fight. It was pretty good, pretty good, man.
It was
peace.
Yeah, It was a good
I feel like
card.
a lot
dude.
of other people he could have fought would have been done. Remember when Mike like grabbed his face
Yeah,
and he was like, "What the fuck just happened to my face?" Like I feel like a lot of people would have
would've
probably
stopped.
been done. Yep, they would have been like, "I think I'm all set with the rest of this fight."
He's a different breed,
End it
man. Like
now.
there,
He was even upset when they stopped it.
listen, you and I have spent many an evening around Mike Richmond and his team, right? Mike
Mhm.
is that guy, dude. He is that guy. Like when the first night we ever hung out with him, when we went out to that club in Birmingham, and he just stood there with like his drink in his hand,
Oh, at the
like
bar, yeah.
stood there like this with like one hand under the armpit, holding his drink and just looking around the club the whole time. And he'd have a smile on his face and we'd be talking to him and he'd have a smile on his face. But you just know that like you can look at him and be like, this dude. And at the time he had his head shaved and he had the twirl mustache going and everything. He just looked like he was built to fucking terminate. It was amazing. And yeah, so Mike loses his title to Josh. I am equally curious to see what happens with him as much as I'm very curious to see what happens with Josh, because when we just went through those rankings real quick with him, seriously, if he doesn't fight Jared Warren or Jared Warren or Jomi.
Yep.
Who the
Joey
fuck
was
else?
actually in the comments I just
Right.
saw.
No, and it has to be either one of those two guys. And if they're not going to fight, if neither one of those two guys are going to fight Josh, I hope they do. Give Mike Perry a thoroughbred bare knuckle fighter. And because Mike Perry is a thoroughbred now, right? He's 5-0 and he's 5-0 in BKFC. He's got UFC imports
all over the place.
Right. He's fought UFC imports, every big names every single time. And
he did fight Julian Lane.
Julian Lane is a stud bare knuckle.
I feel like it was his toughest challenge though. Right. Julian Lane was pretty much the toughest guy that he had the most trouble with.
He went 6 rounds with 6 rounds with MVP.
Oh, that's right. MVP also.
He went 6 rounds with MVP. So like Mike Perry is a fucking beast, and he is a dog in the BKFC. He's made for this shit. And Josh is clearly made for this. And that is a fight that interests me big time. And man, can you imagine 1.5 million people at Sturgis Rally in 2025, 85th anniversary?
Oh my God.
Estimating 40,000 plus around the ring the night of the event. Holy fuck, dude.
That's wild.
With a main event of South Dakota's own world champion Josh Dyer defending against the biggest name in the entire fucking sport, Mike Perry.
Yeah, there's always kind of been, now I'm going to be a naysayer here for a second, playing devil's advocate, as they say. Perry for a BKFC world title, I don't think that plays into the plans for BKFC.
Here's where I go with that, though.
Unless it's like a catch weight somewhere or something, so they can take the title out of the picture.
But if Mike Perry just wants to, what if Mike Perry just wanted to win a world title and then ride off into the distance and own his fucking dirty boxing and stuff like I know they wouldn't want to see him do that, but that might sell more views than anything they've ever done. You know what I mean? Him fighting for a world title. I don't know. I think it's something that they can flirt with. I don't know if they do it. It would be amazing. I'm very curious to see what they do with Josh, because it has to be one of those 3 names unless they bring in an outsider. Yeah, look at that picture. You're going to tell me that dude standing next to me and I are the same fucking weight?
No, he's 20 pounds lighter than you.
He's 205. That was
205. Sorry. Yeah, 205.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, me and him are the
same weight.
Same exact. We were the exact same weight in that picture. It doesn't fucking make any sense. That's crazy to me. I don't know. That's wild. Anyways, we got to give something away, guys.
Yeah, because I think that because he fought Career, and Career is a big guy
at 205. Career is huge.
Yeah.
So, Mike, we have
I know. I wish
At
we
the
did
be-
this earlier. But
at the
who the
at,
hell's here?
we got
15
15 people.
people.
So we had more earlier, but for those who stuck around, you have a chance to win a
Who's
poster.
here? Let
That
us
is
know you're
insane.
here. Say what's up. Hello. Ding dong.
All right. So we got this insane, sick poster.
You're gonna want to win this, people.
This is BKFC 5, Artem Lobov versus Jason Knight. April 6th, 2019, that went down. All right. Take that off the screen real quick because we're going to show you guys. So there's the poster. All right. You guys
Yeah.
see it? There's the poster. To win that, tell us how many BKFC champions fought on BKFC 5's card. They weren't champions at the time. We're saying how many
past, present, future.
How many fighters that held a BKFC title fought on that card at BKFC? Or how many, or do we want to know who they
How many?
are? Just how many? Give us a number.
How many?
Give us a number, and the first person that gives
And
us
who they are. Yeah, write who they are, because I want people starting to write numbers down and just win that way. You got to write who they are. Do it now.
Who? Yeah,
that's a good idea, Kyle. Because people just start going boom, 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 and then we go, oh, you won.
They'll just start at 1 and keep going up.
Yes.
Let's see who wants this. Who wants that poster right there? That is signed by everyone. Look at some of the names on there, man. You got legends on there.
Yeah, there's the answer right in front of your face.
Yep. All you got to do is write those names down and fucking.
Is that why you told me to take the picture down, Kyle?
Yeah,
take the picture down. Yeah. So there was another.
I'm gonna give you guys a hint. Sheena Star is not one of them. Sheena Star is not one of them.
The answer is not 10. That's a second hint. 2 hints. Sheena Star is not one of the champs, and
it is not 10.
Yep, and your mom wasn't one of them either.
All right,
not your mom, not my mom, not your mom, but somebody's mom. Somebody's mom was.
Yeah, there was definitely a mom on there.
Someone's mom is one of the people. There's a hint.
Somebody's mom.
Someone's mom is one of the people.
Someone's mom is one of the people. Yeah. Hey, while we're waiting for an answer,
the name of the people who were champions that were on BKFC 5. It's nobody's even close. Nobody's even close right now. Not even close right now.
No.
And I mean with the answer.
BKFC 5, man, it had a lot of. We'll give you a hint. It wasn't 1. It wasn't.
No,
10.
you need to write the names. The names. We need the names. Put the names down. Not the number. The names.
There were some nasty knockouts.
Yeah, I know it said how many, but we figured it would be too easy if we said how many, because people are just going to start putting numbers down. So we need the names. Write the names down.
Yeah, the poster's too good to just give away somebody to throw a number out there. Tell us who they were, guys. It's too fucking easy. You want us to put the poster back up?
If you look it up, it's so easy.
You want to put the poster back up? Let's see if they look. We'll give you 10 more seconds with the poster. Here it is. Boom. You just take a look at that. And would you look at that? I mean,
oh Jesus.
Okay. Oh, wait a second. We got people over on Instagram guessing. Fuck. I forgot
look
about
at it,
these
Kyle.
guys.
What do you got?
Well, no, we got somebody that named 2 of them.
Yeah.
There's more. I'll give you a hint. There's more than that.
Oh man. You know, absent-minded, you're getting close, but you're missing something going on over here. We got Heart plus Faria equals
Falcon
2.
09.
Nope, you're way off.
You're way wrong.
Off. Falcon 09, you are wrong.
You're
What about
right,
over on Instagram? What do we got going on? Who's got what and how do they got it?
No, someone guessed Heart and Faria. That's one guess, but that is.
Oh yeah, those 2 definitely are part of it, but that's not all.
You guys are correct on that one. Heart and Faria are 2 champions that were on that card, but wait, there's more.
Oh yeah, there is.
Do we have a BKFC event this weekend? We don't, huh?
No.
This is the first time in a long time that we've had a bit of a break between events. The
Yeah,
next
June
event
6th.
is not till June 6th in Albuquerque when Redneck puts his belt on the line against Donald Sanchez, which is fantastic.
Here's a hint, guys. Shoemaker was never a champion.
Yes, Shoemaker was not a champion. So
never.
No.
Yeah, he was not the champ.
Was not. Somebody did. He did fight for a title. Oh,
Yeah.
There's one. Hey guys, hey, someone's getting real close around here. Absent-minded named them all in 2 different texts.
Oh no.
Do we give it to him? No.
What? I mean, if it's, I don't know. What do we vote?
I
on
say
that?
we give it to him, dude. I say
because he did it and 2
He
separate.
named all
texts?
5 of them. He named them all.
All right, whatever.
He
See,
named
for
all.
me, I'm like straight up like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. You got to
name all 5 at once,
or you don't
All
get
right,
it. But
well.
fine, we'll give it to him. That's fine. We'll give it to him.
All right, I say we give it to him. Man.
Nobody
Let's
got
do
it on Instagram before him, right? Nobody on there.
Nobody on Instagram. So here's the deal. Falcon 09.
right.
Take your 2
Did it.
fucking texts and put them all. Oh, he did it. There it is. Absent-minded with the winner right here.
There it is.
It is Christine Faria, Britton Hart, Reggie Barnett Jr., Johnny Bedford, and Chase Sherman.
Yes.
That
correct.
is
So you know how much that is?
incredible.
5.
That's 5. The
On
answer is 5.
BKFC 5.
BKFC 5 featured 5 champions.
That's correct.
None of them were champions at the time, though. I don't think.
Nope.
Right? Was Chase Sherman the champ at the time?
I don't know because that fight was not a championship fight as far as I know.
Yeah, because Sherman took the belt from Arnold Adams, right? And then Arnold lost it to who?
Huh?
I mean, he took it from Arnold, and then Chase Sherman lost it to.
I thought he gave it up. Did he leave?
I thought he lost it to someone.
Let me see here.
Now we gotta look it up, man. We're gonna wrap this up in a second, but now we're curious, guys. Let's see, Michael. But absent-minded, we are going to send you that poster. You deserve it. It's fucking awesome.
So Chase Sherman, let's see here. Where the hell is it actually? He fought
he lost it to Joey Beltran.
Joey Beltran.
Joey Beltran beat Chase Sherman. A unanimous decision to take the belt and the Police Gazette. Unbelievable.
Yes.
So congratulations, absent-minded. Thank you very much to Logan Speyrer for coming on here, and also the world champ Josh Dyer. You guys are both great. Big future.
Tower Dog's in the chat with a message.
What's he got? Oh, is he fighting?
He says
waiting for the contract.
He said, I will have a big fight. I will have big fight news dropping soon. Stay tuned. It's going to be huge.
Huge.
And I'm assuming it's going to be 14th. On June 14th.
That's I would imagine so.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I guess we'll see you again, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you real soon. Shout out to our sponsors, Dynamic Life. If you get over to at LIV Dynamic on Instagram, you can hit the link in the bio. 20 seconds later, you can be a patient for weight loss, sexual health, and anti-aging. Dynamic Life is your spot. And then head over to the Rasha, the official mindset recovery tool of the BKFC and the 1%. And your boys, the Mike and Mish Show. It is at Rasha Elite on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. It'll take you to their website. Get your mind right, bruh. Mike, it's been an awesome show. Thank you to Logan and Josh again. And future's bright for both of those guys. Can't wait to see what happens next. What do you got for the peoples?
People, listen up. There ain't no fights this weekend. So you're going to have to find something to do. All right?
Go spend some time with your family.
There's other things going on. You know, it's summertime. It's coming up soon. Spring. The weather's nice. Get the hell out of the house, okay? Stop sitting around waiting for fights to come on, all right? There's other things in life.
Yeah.
Come
Oh,
back
and
next Wednesday and we'll talk about fighting.
listen, I want everybody, before you go to bed tonight, I want you to put your hands together and say, can we please get Josh Dyer and Mike Perry and Surgis? Thank you. Can you do that?
Thank you.
Thank you. Mystic Mish has spoken. South Dakota is going to be fucking a massive show this year. Josh Dyer, Mike Perry. Let's go. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, nothing else. Just peace.
Later, guys. Peace.